That's right, Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. The time and place for your business dreams to come true. Welcome to High-Tech Electrical Design and Consulting Services Incorporated, a full-service electrical contracting company established in 2016. High-Tech offers the following services: in-house and classroom electrical training, electrical design, consulting, and superintendent service, high voltage installation, testing, and maintenance, generator and transformer procurement, installation, maintenance, and repairs, residential, commercial, and industrial wiring, fire alarm, data, security and access control, installation and maintenance, electrical and fire system inspection. To contact High-Tech's offices, please call 469-4763 or area code 305-224-8449 or by mobile 662-7467 or 665-8190. You may email hcharles at hightech, H-I-T-E-K, electrical.com or Javier, Javier, at hightechelectrical.com. To visit High-Tech's offices, please go to 725 Pineville Lane, Cades Bay, Lowlands, St. Thomas's Parish, Nevis, Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Just about everything you need you can find at Island Tires and Hardware. Cleaning supplies, gardening supplies, household supplies, building materials, plumbing materials, electrical materials. Pimp your ride at Island Tires, auto detailing supplies, spare parts, tires, batteries, tire shop, and so much more. Did I mention friendly staff, local owners, local management? I said a mouthful. Check out Island Tires and Hardware for your household, building materials, construction, and vehicle needs. Island Tires and Hardware, established in 1979 to serve you. Call 469-1980, located on the Island Main Road, Stony Grove, Nevis. Island Tires and Hardware, open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. On Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 noon. It's Island Tires and Hardware for all of your needs.
Welcome to Electronic Security Solutions. Are you experiencing some issues? Then please check out our services. Access control, burglar alarm installations, data cable installations, fire alarm installations, 24/7 alarm monitoring, CCTV, surveillance system installations, and smart home solutions. Please contact us, Proprietor Cleveland St. Val, at area code 869-466-2877 or area code 869-663-9725 or email us clevalle112 at hotmail.com. You may visit us at number 204 Pine Gardens, Shadwell's Development, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Electronic Security Solutions, serving the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Education, education, this is the foundation. Our rising population needs sound education.
Parents and guardians, are you interested in your children enhancing their computer skills? Well, EC Computer Institute, Ramsbury Site, Charlestown, Nevis is the place for them to be. We offer primary and secondary school children computer and educational classes on Saturdays from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. during school terms. These classes prepare them to write the CXC EDPM and Information Technology exams early. Call 469-5742 or 668-3032 for details. Remember, computer literacy today enables occupational mobility tomorrow.
To lead you astray, to earn tomorrow, you got to learn today.
Hello. Hello. Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Strategies for Business Success. This evening we continue with our series. Hello, let me just see that there. Hello. Yep. That is Strategies for Business Success. I'm not getting that vibe. Sure. My Yep, now I can hear myself. Before I couldn't. So, like I said, a very pleasant evening to you. It's Tuesday night, and it's that time when we get together again. I first welcome all my good friends over there who have joined us, and we continue with Strategies for Business Success and our series Economic Reform, powered by Private Sector Enterprise. Entrepreneur Showcase tonight with Anastasia Elliott of Sugartown Organics. Our theme, local entrepreneurs are innovative. Our key question, how do innovators strive and thrive? And I think the key takeaway will be having a transformation mindset is priceless. So good evening and welcome to the Strategies for Business. I'm your host Daniel Atherton, and welcome to the program. This is the one which assists you with the small steps towards your business growth and development. Tonight we affirm every challenge is a doorway to innovation. Thanks for joining us. You may be joining us here on 2020 Vision Radio 102.1 FM, or via 2020 Vision Radio on Facebook, or via Twitch, or via YouTube, TuneIn, Radio Garden, whatever is your choice of media. We're happy to have you join us. And Ali and John, always the pleasure to have you folks, and Catherine, France, those people, Charlene and Rona, my Zion lady. It's been a tough time for you, losing two uncles in a short period of time, and continue to extend our sincere condolences to you. We know you're a strong person, and God will the wind will be at your back. As is our custom, we start by doing things decently and in order, and I come before you as an instrument of the all-knowing, omniscient, the all-powerful, omnipotent, and the omnipresent God, in whom we move and have our beings. God of our hearts and our understanding. We hope to share our points of view and our perspectives, because I'll be having a guest with me as soon as Walter can assist me to put the Zoom thing in perspective. We will have her join us. And tonight, I like to thank our sponsors, Earl Clark, the good brother over there at EC Computing. He's been there, an entrepreneur for a long period of time. Self-taught and really focused. Ray Chiverton, positive chip off the block, my good friend, Mr. Chiverton there. And his granddad was one of my farmers, and the family at Island Tires. Cleveland St. Val at Electronic Security System, the man who does a lot of work for me and my friends, in terms of keeping them secured. And then we have consultant Hugh Charles at High Tech Consulting, the man who makes sure, your electricity is, developed, planned, implemented in the best way possible. And so I want to thank them for their confidence and their commitment expressed as sponsors of this program of advocacy. It's a program of education and governance, particularly as it relates to small and medium enterprises, that which we call the private sector. And so we've been setting the stage over the past several months, and what we have been doing, we've been focusing on strategic planning, resource management, documentation, record keeping, costing and pricing, profit maximization. These were not academic discussions, of course not. They were necessary conversations. We live in a time when the government resources are limited, the public debt is high, and the citizens' expectation remains strong. In such a reality, the future of this country cannot rest on government alone. It must rest on the performance, the productivity, and the profitability of the private sector. The private sector, the engine of growth. And tonight I continue with Anastasia Elliott of Sugartown Organics. She's one of our local entrepreneurs here, and she's innovative. She has moved. I see a couple of her brands, which give her a chance. I won't steal her thunder. And how do I do? And the question we have to ask ourselves, despite all the concessions that are given to persons who are not from here, and the fact that we're expected to meet every requirement that are legal and regulatory, and also in terms of best practices, on a global scale, how do innovators strive and thrive? And then, with the answers we are getting back tell us that, they are a resilient bunch of people. They are fighters. They have coordinated and collaborated with people and have been able to transform themselves through a transformation mindset, which is priceless. And that's what we want you to have as a key takeaway. So we say to people, and from here at Strategies for Business Success, we keep asserting that this series is not about blame, it's about responsibility. It's not about politics, it's about productivity. If we want jobs, resilience, reduced debt, and national stability, then our businesses must keep accurate records. The business must be well costed, based on those records, well priced, well managed, and growth oriented. This program exists to help business owners move from survival to strategy, and from strategy to national, regional, and even international impact. So how do we achieve this? We have decided that we are going to reframe the national narrative. We decide the private sector must not now carry the economy. We just do not have that faith and confidence that, the governments, as we see them right now, we think they're just carrying too many burdens. They're much too wide. They're in every business area that one can imagine, from trucking to haulage, from backhoe to excavator. And so we think that, we got to make sure the private sector do that, because the state is fiscally constrained. It has high debt. It has a lot of unfinished projects. I can name several. I can name the police station. I can name the hospital. I can name airport related thing. I can name several matters. But the private sector must become the primary engine of growth and jobs. And it must be the source of exports, and it must be the place where we become more resilient. And so transformation is not protest, it's productive action. So we have to keep repeating the refrain all the time. When government space is limited, private sector performance become a national strategy. I'm telling you, we are always happy to have folks. Jam Fobs, welcome. Second transformation part of the program is to move from knowledge to action. When you have knowledge, it's one thing to have knowledge, but the next thing is the application, the action. Make sure you action your knowledge and transition into a national business reform process. Thirdly, I think that the private sector transformation framework, and I've been pointing out there, the pillars. First, we must concentrate. We must reduce waste. We must control our costs. We must be productivity first. We must scale through cooperation. Last week, we spoke to our good friend Claire Brown Greenaway, where we spoke about her scaling with other entrepreneurs, and they're going to be at the Villa grounds, I think, sometime from 10 to 10. She spoke to you about that, and there are lots of very interesting business persons who would be there displaying their skills and competence, their innovative talents. And so we say we must scale through cooperation. We must have that export mindset, which I think our guest this evening is a very good example of that, because she can earn foreign exchange, whether it's from her agro-processing stuff, her creatives, and then she's now applying some digital services in the form of an app. And so we also see about import substitution. We must make sure that we do that. Our best efforts to help national development, economic development, is to make sure that we can substitute some of the things that we get from overseas. In this the time of war, we need to make sure that we do not become too dependent on any boats traveling across these perilous seas and having to drop cargo here. We have to make sure that some of those things we either substitute And that requires, above all things, financial discipline and business leadership. That's the other thing that you must have. You must have, that financial discipline, and then you must have, you know, business leadership as nation builders, because nation builders, they're not lobbyists, they are producers. So small population we have, but we have big opportunities, because we've seen a lot of small countries that are doing big things. And so scaling in a microstate is a very important thing. We must scale up, because that's what we do. And so we insist on a simple national call to action. Focus on your cost, focus on your sustainability, your success first. Then beyond, think beyond your shop. Think national or even regional and international impact. And over time, this become your economic culture for change, and then we as a people would be able to do a lot of things that our parents did in Nevis when we didn't have a penny, as they would say. A lot of our people did a lot of things here and made sure that this spreads across and passed down to our children. I'm still awaiting my good friend Walter to assist me so I can patch in Anastasia, who is waiting patiently. And so, but tonight, as mentioned before, we are going to be joined by her. And I mean, when she comes on, she's a local entrepreneur from here in this federation, and she has, she's from good stock. She have people from Nevis and St. Kitts, lineage, and so that's the kind of thing that we are hoping that we could get sorted out. I wonder if I can patch her through even just the audio until we get the video. I think I probably should try and do that and see if it works. Anastasia, can you get me? You hear me? Not. Let me see. Would be that's this one. It's think it's phone. This was the one. Anastasia, can you hear me? I'm trying to see if I can at least get you there. Not whatever. I've already opened up that one for you, because I think that's the one that's usually open up for PC. Okay, let me try this one. Anastasia, can you hear me? Yeah. Can you hear me? No, I'm not getting you there. I'm not getting there. But I'm patiently waiting on Lawson. But I think what I'll do, I'll just give you the takeaways from our interaction with Miss Claire Brown Greenaway that we had last week with us, when she spoke to us about a number of talented persons who are getting themselves ready for an activity up at the Villa grounds, where they're definitely gonna be showcasing their talents. And she spoke to some of the names that we already know, and some of the talents that they have in creatives. And then she had extended the time frame for people to become registered, so as to enable more persons to participate and share what they're doing. She said that it's a family fund activity. So one of the things that she was seeking to do was to make sure that there were games available for children, and not just and she spoke to her pricing, which allowed persons to travel as a family of up to 7, I think pays just $10 or something like that. Not a whole lot. I can't remember all of the details, but it's certainly attractive for persons to do that sort of thing. I don't know. I've not. Maybe what I'll have to do is to have Anastasia call me, and then I can probably talk to her on my phone until Lawson assists me with that stuff. So maybe Anastasia, you should just give me a call on my. You got my the digits there on the direct line on or my WhatsApp, whichever you prefer. And then what I will do is that I'll engage you, and so we can have some conversation, and then we'll bring on the visuals when the person patches us through. So, or maybe what I should do. Let me see if I can do that. Hello. Yeah, good evening, Anastasia. What is happening? We are having a little delay there with the technician getting us sorted. So what I think I'm going to do is that I'm still going to have you, um, you know, um, we can talk until he brings you, brings the video to. So I think we should do that. And so at this time, I want to take the opportunity to welcome you. To this program, Strategies for Business Success. Let me just tell you what it is. Our program here, it's a educational program that works for the benefit of individuals who, like yourself, entrepreneurs. The private sector we focus on, and what we try to do, we try to identify those things that we have done to make businesses successful. And once you're successful, then if you can repeat success, then you'll become sustainable. And so tonight, I told the people that I'm going to have you. And so what I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to open to you. And so what you can do, you can start by telling us something about yourself, your journey and inspiration. What first inspired you to get into value addition, particularly in herbal remedies, how you got started, and also to realize there's power in names, your Sugartown Organics, and you have brands like Florial, Marapa, Yaffine, and Babas. So please be my guest. Go right ahead and start telling the people, and then when we get to the visuals, we bring them on because we're not going to miss a bit. I think this. I'm hearing you.
I'm the CEO and co-founder of Sugartown Organics. We are based in St. Kitts. I started this journey back in 2008. It was an idea that I had. I wasn't sure if it was going to work. But as I grew and as I learned more and as I gathered more recipes and gathered more knowledge, I got into journalism, and through journalism, I gained access to a lot of data on crime, data on health. I was also able to get data on HIV, and I saw patterns. I see patterns when I look at things, and there was a pattern that I was seeing, a pattern that I knew I had a solution to help with, and I pitched the idea to my mom in 2010 of what I wanted to do, using family legacy recipes to create the solution to the problem I was seeing. And really, that's how I started. I saw a problem and I figured there's something I could do.
So why call it Sugartown Organics?
Growing up, we couldn't eat a lot of things. And my mom tells a story that I had this wish list of all the things that when I grew up, I would make, so that I can eat them, like conkles and candy and stuff like that. And she refused to buy us. And it became my wish list over the years as I grew. And when I started started the business, my first name was Sugartown Wish List. Sugartown because it's a city, past there. Sugartown is where I'm from. And the wish list because it was the continuation of that wish list that I started in childhood. As we grew, and as I started to explore getting product outside of St. Kitts and Nevis, I needed something more formal, I think was the word that one person told me. And we became Sugartown Organic, so the result of that.
Yeah. Formalities when you move from just being just another business, but something that stands out in the crowd. People recognize you. You have a name recognition, and you formalize by becoming a registered company. Yeah.
Yes.
And I see that what you have done over time is that I don't know what other format you have started with some branding, and then I don't know, you have them into 4 areas that, at least from my research, I have seen: Florial, Marapa, Yaffin, and Babas. Probably you can tell us, I mean, what took you to these places?
When I started with Yaffin. Yaffin was my market tester, is what I used to test to see if the market would accept organic products or products that were different to what they were accustomed to, products that were based on things we see every day, or yam, or breadfruit, or potato. But people would use cosmetics that were made with those things, right? So when I started, it was the hair care, we had in bath and body stuff, we had in food items, Yaffin was everything. But as we grew, as I developed, as I got training, as I was exposed to the outside market, as I traveled across the world to the UK and Africa, I was exposed to other ways of doing things and how other businesses grew, right? Especially in the UK. Like, I remember walking into one of those high-end stores and just being amazed at how they had everything set out and how they had everything branded. And I brought back that knowledge with me and implemented it into my business, and actively listened to my customers and what they wanted and what they needed. The brand sort of grew out of that active listening aspect of business. And so Yaffin became fully hair care, bath and body, and then we had Marapa that was pulled out of Yaffin that focuses us on skincare. We also segment that down to Nizier, which is a men's skincare line. We've now added Kalume, which is our room fragrances. So there you get our candles, the diffusers, the wax melts, the room sprays, and that kind of thing. And of course, to close the loop, we have Farwell Food, which takes up the majority of the food so that we have no wastage.
So that's an agro-processing component, or is just for lotions and creams or something like that, or is it value added?
Yes, because doing the cosmetics, you use like small amounts of food. There's not a lot of food, so it meant that I would have had a lot of food wastage, and I didn't want that. So I added the food line to take up that excess.
Wow. Because that's a very important aspect of production nowadays. I mean, you know that food. There's a great considerations for food and food products, and what I think I will do is that I'm gonna take our break. It's now 30 minutes into the program, and we usually take our first break here, so that our sponsors can tell, we can highlight our sponsors, and then let's hope that during this period that we get Lawson to come in and get everything sorted out. So we'll just do that. Yeah.
Welcome to High-Tech Electrical Design and Consulting Services Incorporated, a full-service electrical contracting company established in 2016. High-Tech offers the following services: in-house and classroom electrical training, electrical design, consulting, and superintendent service, high-voltage installation, testing, and maintenance, generator and transformer procurement, installation, maintenance, and repairs, residential, commercial, and industrial wiring, fire alarm, data, security and access control, installation and maintenance, electrical and fire system inspection. To contact High-Tech's offices, please call 469-4763 or area code 305-224-8449, or by mobile 662-7467 or 665-8190. You may email hcharles at hightech, HITEK, electrical.com or Javier, JAVIER, at hightechelectrical.com. To visit Hightech's offices, please go to 725 Pineville Lane, Cades Bay, Lowlands, St. Thomas's Parish, Nevis, Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Just about everything you need you can find at Island Tires and Hardware. Cleaning supplies, gardening supplies, household supplies, building materials, plumbing materials, electrical materials. Pimp your ride at Island Tires, auto detailing supplies, spare parts, tires, batteries, tire shop, and so much more. Did I mention friendly staff, local owners, local management? I said a mouthful. Check out Island Tires and Hardware for your household, building materials, construction, and vehicle needs. Island Tires and Hardware, established in 1979 to serve you. Call 469-1980, located on the Island Main Road, Stony Grove, Nevis. Island Tires and Hardware, open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. On Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 noon. It's Island Tires and Hardware for all of your needs.
Welcome to Electronic Security Solutions. Are you experiencing some issues? Then please check out our services. Access control, burglar alarm installations, data cable installations, fire alarm installations, 24/7 alarm monitoring, CCTV, surveillance system installations, and smart home solutions. Please contact us, Proprietor Cleveland St. Val, at area code 869-466-2877 or area code 869-663-9725 or email us CLEVALLE112 at hotmail.com. You may visit us at number 204 Pine Gardens, Shadwell's Development, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Electronic Security Solutions, serving the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Education, education, this is the foundation. Our rising population needs sound education.
Parents and guardians, are you interested in your children enhancing their computer skills? Well, EC Computer Institute, Ramsbury site, Charlestown, Nevis is the place for them to be. We offer primary and secondary school children computer and educational classes on Saturdays from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. during school terms. These classes prepare them to write the CXC EDPM and information technology exams early. Call 469-5742 or 668-3032 for details. Remember, computer literacy today enables occupational mobility tomorrow.
Youngs to lead you astray. To earn tomorrow, you got to learn today.
not hearing you very clearly. But I understand you to say that, I mean, when you started, that business support information was not easily available, and so, you had to do your research and got some, support from outside. But business support was a main thing, because that's one of the main challenges from, we don't have incubation and incubators and accelerators around here. We now have a few, but they are poorly funded. The SBDC, the SEDU, those are the bodies that we have that do that. And so, yeah. So the other question is, was there a defining moment when you realized your business had real potential? I mean, here you were looking at this thing. You had things that you wanted to do as a child. You couldn't do them because of the resource limitations of your family. Then you got to that place and you decided that you were exposed to all this data. You saw what were trending, and so you decided that you're going to turn it into a business. Then when you got there, you realize you're not getting the kind of business support, which is one of the first steps. The Small Business Administration in the United States, the Small Business Development Center, the American, you have Europe, you have Business Gateway in the European Union, and so they have that. Business Canada is what you have in Canada, and as I heard you didn't have that business support. But was there a defining moment when you realized that your business ideas had real potential for growth and impact?
I think that was when I won my first placement to a trade show, an international trade show.
Okay.
I applied, not thinking I would get surprised because it was a part of the program I was doing and they never showed it. So I applied thinking, I was being following instructions at the time, right? Didn't think like my product was good enough to be on an international stage.
Mm-hmm.
Not where I was. It had nothing to do with my formulation, but just how they were marketed compared to what I was seeing elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have the finance to do like a rebrand from where I started. And I was quite surprised that I got picked for the trip. And I went out there, and people were quite receptive to them. They were very forthcoming with the information. Like we had a scientist come through and he sat down with me and went through preservation, the different types of food we can preserve cosmetics. We had someone with packaging and walk through packaging and why it's so it was quite eye-opening to me. And people were receptive of the product. I thought, oh, maybe I will if I can.
So, getting an opportunity to attend an international show was a critical inflection point. And when you got there, the people were receptive. You see, around here, you have to be what they call it, the deaf frog. You can't listen to everybody speaking. You have to make sure that you just keep moving on your own steam. And once you did that, you did get the very positive feedback. And so, how has your background or your environment influenced your approach to natural products and entrepreneurship? You have said some of that before, because you said, well, you with a low budget family, I mean, lots of things that you wanted that you couldn't do, and you had this wish list. So that basically speaks to some of the background economics. But what other environmental factors influence your approach to natural products? Because I notice you are very serious about natural rather and also to entrepreneurship. So we focus on those two things: natural products and your focus on entrepreneurship.
I'm not certain if financial restriction was why she said no. A lot of it had to do with dietary.
Oh,
I wasn't. I had some medical issues when I was born.
okay.
I think I would live past 3, right?
Mm.
So she was very particular with diet, my mom. All of us before we did. That sort of changed once she started working stable job and she was earning more money. And once that changed, she got sick. And when she got sick, well, everything just reverted back.
Right.
Right. So we went from, being able to sit with my friend and conquer to suddenly, can't eat that anymore.
Wow.
Right?
Ye-
everybody go, oh, that's such a kaita, that's such a kahita, right? But going through that journey, she had cancer. Her going through that journey, she healed herself without having to go to chemo and all of that. And
Wow.
that's a big thing again about the potential food has for healing. Um, and I started paying attention, and it got to the point where I started paying attention and started taking notes, started writing stuff down. I had this like stacks of books of notes and stuff I've had over the years. Um, and that really kind of piqued my interest. But even when I started working, it was always in the back of my mind. I had this goal that when I was 30, I would have my own business. But growing up, that was the focus my mom had. It wasn't to go and get a job, it was to start your own business and be self-sufficient. All the women, that was the focus when they were trained to go and get a job. And so when I started, she really pushed and tested the idea that I came with. She wanted to see if I had it. If it's something I really believed in, because if I didn't believe in it, she thinks at the first pushback if I would afford it. And
Mm.
she really, really drilled down and she asked a lot of hard questions. And she, you know, we went through it with me. And looking back now, I'm grateful that she did that because she did that when a lot of the hard times came around. I had answers already. I had something that they could fall back on and say, okay, this isn't working. This way I could try it another way because I went through that process with my mama. Okay, if it doesn't work, so what are you going to do?
th- This
And
is
so I think that shaped how I built from the very beginning.
that's a fascinating story. I think the teachable moment there for me was the part where you said that she was able to ward off cancer diagnosis with natural, you know, natural remedies. I think, I mean, lots of persons should flock to your gates to make sure that they get that, because I know you've got a series of products and we have spoken, and I'm totally enlightened by that approach, and I see, as you rightly said, that having done that, what that meant was, she was able to then restore herself to that level of vibrancy, and that encourage you along in terms of your business growth and your strategy. So what makes value added herbal and beauty products so important in today's market, especially for small or local entrepreneurs? I noticed there's a lot of, we talk about creatives, but one aspect of the creatives is the creativity of our people, in being able to develop items that can help, that are healthy and can heal. And so the question I pose is, what makes value added herbal and beauty products so important in today's market, especially for small entrepreneurs?
I think the creation of beauty products has always been something we've needed to do. Because remember, a lot of what existed wasn't available to us. We were bad only because of our skin color, right?
Right.
And so we've always needed to find other ways to care for ourselves, to heal ourselves. And through that knowledge, passing that on from mother to child or grandfather to grandson, granddaughter, we were able to pass that knowledge down generation to generation. So we were able to heal ourselves that way, right? Today, it's important because most of what is on the market isn't good for us still, right? It contains ingredients that are harmful for us. They know it, they sell it to us anyway, right? And so for people like me who have the knowledge who can create from that heritage standpoint where we can create for our people, I think that is very important to the continued health of our people.
Wow. Um, I'm trying to see if I could. There is. I'm trying to see if Walter can assist me. Lawson can assist me here. With and find out how long would it take um, for us to kind of transition,
Okay.
to the Zoom. And whether or not we can continue on the radio.
We can continue and do that along until
Yeah.
we talk about it, then we talk over.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to see if I can get a feedback from him on that and so. But like I was saying, is that that was a fascinating. The point that you made there is um,
Yeah, we always needed to look after ourselves, right?
yes,
Being able to create, I think for us as a society is very important.
because I mean, as you pointed out, I mean, a lot of the stuff that we were getting them from overseas, and if we're getting it from overseas, I mean, it's really not cool, you know.
I think they tell you that it's not pretty fast. They know, right? So then we should create for ourselves.
Yes, that's a very because what I'm seeing here is that I'm trying to see if we can have a short commercial break and then continue. Um, but so I'm just trying to ask. Um, we can continue on the radio, and then we get back to the platforms, the live platforms and so forth. But we do the another commercial break. Yeah. And so what I'll do is that I'm gonna go to the the commercial break, and then what we will do is that Lawson will try to get us sorted through Zoom, and then we will get right back. So we'll just do that. So let me just do that here.
Education, education, this is the foundation. Our rising population needs sound education.
Parents and guardians, are you interested in your children enhancing their computer skills? Well, EC Computer Institute, Ramsbury site, Charlestown, Nevis is the place for them to be. We offer primary and secondary school children computer and educational classes on Saturdays from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. during school terms. These classes prepare them to write the CXC EDPM and Information Technology exams early. Call 469-5742 or 668-3032 for details. Remember, computer literacy today enables occupational mobility tomorrow.
Onions will lead you astray. To earn tomorrow, you got to learn today.
Welcome to Electronic Security Solutions. Are you experiencing some issues? Then please check out our services. Access control, burglar alarm installations, data cable installations, fire alarm installations, 24/7 alarm monitoring, CCTV, surveillance system installations, and smart home solutions. Please contact us, Proprietor Cleveland St. Val, at area code 869-466-2877 or area code 869-663-9725 or email us clevalle112@hotmail.com. You may visit us at number 204 Pine Gardens, Shadwell's Development, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Electronic Security Solutions, serving the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Just about everything you need you can find at Island Tires and Hardware. Cleaning supplies, gardening supplies, household supplies, building materials, plumbing materials, electrical materials. Pimp your ride at Island Tires, auto detailing supplies, spare parts, tires, batteries, tire shop, and so much more. Did I mention friendly staff, local owners, local management? I said a mouthful. Check out Island Tires and Hardware for your household, building materials, construction, and vehicle needs. Island Tires and Hardware, established in 1979 to serve you. Call 469-1980, located on the Island Main Road, Stony Grove, Nevis. Island Tires and Hardware, open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. On Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 noon. It's Island Tires and Hardware for all of your needs.
Welcome to High-Tech Electrical Design and Consulting Services Incorporated, a full-service electrical contracting company established in 2016. High-Tech offers the following services: in-house and classroom electrical training, electrical design, consulting, and superintendent service, high-voltage installation, testing, and maintenance, generator and transformer procurement, installation, maintenance, and repairs, residential, commercial, and industrial wiring, fire alarm, data, security and access control, installation and maintenance, electrical and fire system inspection. To contact High-Tech's offices, please call 469-4763 or area code 305-224-8449 or by mobile 662-7467 or 665-8190. You may email hcharles at hightech, H-I-T-E-K, electrical.com or Javier, Javier, at hightechelectrical.com. To visit High-Tech's offices, please go to 725 Pineville Lane, Cades Bay, Lowlands, St. Thomas's Parish, Nevis, Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Sailing supplies, spare parts, tires, batteries, tire shop, and so much more. Did I mention friendly staff, local owners, local management? I said a mouthful. Check out Island Tires and Hardware for your household, building materials, construction, and vehicle needs. Island Tires and Hardware, established in 1979 to serve you. Call 469-1980, located on the Island Main Road, Stony Grove, Nevis. Island Tires and Hardware, open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. On Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 noon. It's Island Tires and Hardware for all of your needs.
Welcome to Electronic Security Solutions. Are you experiencing some issues? Then please check out our services. Access control, burglar alarm installations, data cable installations, fire alarm installations, 24/7 alarm monitoring, CCTV, surveillance system installations, and smart home solutions. Please contact us, Proprietor Cleveland St. Val, at area code 869-466-2877 or area code 869-663-9725 or email us clevalle112 at hotmail.com. You may visit us at number 204 Pine Gardens, Shadwell's Development, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Electronic Security Solutions, serving the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Education, education, this is the foundation. Our rising population needs sound education.
Parents and guardians, are you interested in your children enhancing their computer skills? Well, EC Computer Institute, Ramsbury site, Charlestown, Nevis is the place for them to be. We offer primary and secondary school children computer and educational classes on Saturdays from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. during school terms. These classes prepare them to write the CXC EDPM and Information Technology exams early. Call 469-5742 or 668-3032 for details. Remember, computer literacy today enables occupational mobility tomorrow.
To lead you astray, to earn tomorrow, you got to learn today.
Welcome to Strategies for Business Success, right here on 2020visionradio.com and on 102.1 FM with business development advocate Daniel Arthurton. Each week, Danny will build on a foundation to ensure your success in business. Being in business can be daunting, and strategies for business success can help you avoid the pitfalls. Join Danny right here on 2020visionradio.com, on 102.1 FM, and on your other social media platforms every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. That's right, Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. The time and place for your business dreams to come true.
Yeah, well, we're gonna continue until we get ourselves started out there. So we get back to the program with our guests this evening, Anastasia Elliott, and we've been discussing, how this thing has okay, we haven't had we lost some. Yeah, let me just put something there to play.
Just about everything
Yeah.
you need you can find at Island Tires and
Okay.
Hardware. Cleaning supplies, gardening supplies, household supplies, building materials, plumbing materials, electrical materials. Pimp your ride at Island Tires, auto detailing supplies, spare parts, tires, batteries, tire shop, and so much more. Did I mention friendly staff, local owners, local management? I said a mouthful. Check out Island Tires and Hardware for your household, building materials, construction, and vehicle needs. Island Tires and Hardware, established in 1979 to serve you. Call 469-1980, located on the Island Main Road, Stony Grove, Nevis. Island Tires and Hardware, open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. On Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 noon. It's Island Tires and Hardware for all of your needs.
Education, education, this is the foundation. Our rising population needs sound education.
Parents and guardians, are you interested in your children enhancing their computer skills? Well, EC Computer Institute, Ramsbury site, Charlestown, Nevis is the place for them to be. We offer primary and secondary school children computer and educational classes on Saturdays from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. during school terms. These classes prepare them to write the CXC EDPM and Information Technology exams early. Call 469-5742 or 668-3032 for details. Remember, computer literacy today enables occupational mobility tomorrow.
Companions to lead you astray. To earn tomorrow, you got to learn today.
Can you hear me? Okay, you can hear me? Okay, Danny, I can't hear.